This is your Game of Thrones news update where I share with you what I consider to be the most important Game of Thrones news for about the past 7 days. Warning, there are spoilers for the final season in this video. Not surprising, I'm going to start by talking about Winterfell. In past news videos, I talked about the massive fire scene overtaking the castle and the corpses that littered the ground around the castle from a huge battle, or battles, that take place at Winterfell. Recently, Oakley Photography took photos showing blood all over the walls of Winterfell. There's also tons of corpses and corpse piles. The piles of bodies are likely to be set on fire. Jon and company are smart enough to know to burn any dead. They don't need to help the Night King grow his undead army. So this is post a huge battle, probably against the others and their whites, but maybe Cersei sends men to backstab the Starks. It is nice to note that with filming at Winterfell apparently done, the castle still stands, so maybe the Starks get to keep their family home after all. Or maybe the White Walkers own the castle now. If the Starks do keep their home, does this mean the White Walkers hit the castle and then move further when they can't breach it? Or they divide their forces to occupy Jon at Winterfell while they go further south to strengthen their army? It would also be in the Night King's best interest to divide Jon and Dany. Hitting Winterfell and somewhere else forcing Dany and Jon to split up would make a lot of sense, especially if Jon gets one of those dragons. Moving on, Ian Glenn talked about the final season of Game of Thrones and said there are a load of surprises, and while we expect him to hype up the final season, I 100% believe him. He also talked about how complicated all the sequences are, and that's why shooting is taking so long. Which we know that Cersei's actress said they're filming until the end of June, though we were told at one point filming could go to the end of August. So even though they have a lot of filming, they're almost done. However, what I did like hearing is that he said Jorah will be at Dany's side for the final season. He said in an interview, "In the next and last season, Ser Jorah will happily become a permanent fixture in Daenerys Targaryen's inner circle, as the battle between good and evil draws to a spectacular finale." Which I'm so happy for Jorah. Even if he doesn't get to be with her romantically, I feel like being by her side in the new world she creates should be enough. That is, if they both live. On the massive King's Landing set they built so they can destroy it in battle, a Red Priestess took photos of a new gate archway they made to cover up the breach gate set they made, and I talked about in a previous news video. So we're getting some sexy before shots of the gate and then after shots of it being breached. I can't wait to see if it is the Night King or Dany that fucks up King's Landing. I mean, a Lannister fucked over King's Landing to get the Targaryens off the throne. It would be hilarious for a Targaryen to fuck over King's Landing to get the Lannisters off the throne. Lastly, on filming news, the body double that was used for Cersei's Walk of Shame and that people threw a fucking temper tantrum over is back for the last season, and what's being said is a repeat role. So while I don't think we're getting another Walk of Shame, I doubt Dany or the Night King or Jon, whichever one dethrones her, wants to see her walk around naked. We could be in for some hardcore sex scenes. I can only imagine the insanely kinky violent sex her and Euron would have. If it is actually Jaime she's having sex with, it would be great if he returned to her, they had sex, and in the middle of it, he just starts to choke the fucking shit out of her until she's dead. Alternatively, it could be for a childbirth and or miscarriage scene, or for a tiny nudity scene, as she's been used for Cersei a few times now. I kinda like that they're keeping the consistency with her body by using the double though. In George news, he said he's taken a step back from blogging as he has a lot of exciting things going on. In a blog post, he explained, "All's good, boys and girls. Lots of exciting things going on. Lots of exciting things. Maybe too many. I am buried in work so much that it's starting to overwhelm me, even with my army of loyal minions. So I'm going to step back from blogging, okay, from not a blogging, for a while till I get a few of these monkeys off my back. In the near future, you'll likely see fewer posts here, and some of those will be by my minions. I'll return eventually, just don't know when. See you later, alligators." Don't get excited, we're never seeing the end of A Song of Ice and Fire. Thanks for watching, make sure you like, subscribe, and come back for more Game of Thrones videos. Oh, and let me know in the comment section down below, what is your favorite change from the books you've seen in the show? As an example, I posted on my Twitter that Jorah being made straight hot is my favorite change from the books.